A lot of people like to bring up that the Bible says to honor your mother, your father, so your days will be long. But a lot of people forget the scripture that states that fathers and mothers do not provoke your children. Listen, I say this all the time to you guys. And I say, like, I would accept a nagging parent. I would accept, you know, maybe a stubborn parent. I would accept a parent that's back and forth, wishy-washy, as in, like, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. The top of my head, it's like tingling all of a sudden. I would accept that, or like arguments here and there, disagreements here and there. Because I see a lot of people talk about going through ups and downs with their parents. Like, I talk to a lot of people, coaching sessions, and I see people argue, fight with their parents and all that. And there's even been a couple of families that I coached, that they're starting to finally get along. And because I see these things as like really petty. And I'm like, listen, like, you have one mother, you have one father. And whatever you guys are going through, just try to mend it, But there's some relationships that you can't mend. There's some relationships that are extremely life and death, and they're just dangerous. And these are narcissistic parents, okay? There's really a big difference. A lot of people think that because they have arguments with their mom, or they have arguments with their dad, or they have disagreements, or their mom or dad always, fusses or whatever, that they're narcissistic parents. And that's not the case. Parents and children have disagreements all the time. I have disagreements with my children all the time. You know what I mean? But narcissistic parent is like, it's a whole nother level. You have to understand that narcissistic traits, that is a mental disorder. And we all know what mental disorders are. Mental disorders are demonic. Mental disorders are from the spirit, the spiritual realm. Okay? Narcissistic personality disorder is literally demonic. As in, like, there is a spirit that is influencing this person as to why they want to consistently do evil. And there's different levels of narcissism. So I want to make that very clear. There's different levels of narcissism. I'm not talking about the narcissistic person that is selfish, only thinks about themselves, and, but they don't have like an evil bone in their body. No. I'm talking about the narcissists that are evil. That do some wickedness, that will go above and beyond to destroy you. Okay? And they don't care who they hurt in the process of destroying, as long as they get what they want. That is next level evil. That is demonic. And we have to understand that when you are dealing with people that have a mentality like that, and who are operating from a spirit like that, you have to remember that in your case, it's life and death. Similar to Cain and Abel, Joseph and his brothers. There's some relationships that you cannot mend. And there's some relationships that God will tell you himself that you cannot mend. Through prayer, through fasting, through days and months and years of being in the presence of God and really going back to him over and over and over again, asking if there's any possibility this can be mended, he will tell you no. And he will comfort you. Because there's some parents that did not want their children in the first place. There's some parents that it was clear from since that child is small that they never wanted them. There's some parents that will take out their frustration and anger out on that child because they feel like that child is why they cannot achieve anything in life. Or that child is why they don't have this or have that. There's some parents that have this narcissistic trait that they will blame their children for everything in their life, and they will never take accountability for their own wrongdoings. And it's going to be continuous, as in, like, even when they're adults, even when the child is an adult and the child is no longer around that parent will still blame the child for everything that's going wrong in their life. And that's because people with this type of mentality, who are operating through these demonic spirits, they have to look for reasonings to validate their wickedness, their evilness. And you'll know you're dealing with that type of parent because ever since you were a child, they blamed you for everything in their life. You don't even have to be in the same room as them when something went wrong, and they'll still blame you for it. You got spankings and abused and beaten and starved, your hair pulled or kicked down the stairs, or all these things happen to you. Social services is involved, and they will sit there and say the reason why they did these things to you is because you're a bad child or it's your fault. And they will never take accountability for abusing you. They will never take accountability for why you had behavioral problems growing up. They will never take accountability for how they treated you behind closed doors, because they're going to blame everything on you to justify their wickedness. Where how you'll know is before you had any behavioral problems in your life, they were already doing this to you. They were already abusing you. They were already doing these demonic things to you. So when you start reacting now as a child, reactive abuse, then they use the reactive abuse to blame you more. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Lord brought this to my attention last night, and some people, they don't understand the difference between, a parent that has, lacking responsibility, that may have some things they need to work on, behavioral problems that they need to work on, versus a parent that is narcissistic, that is not going to change, that is operating through a demonic spirit, that does not want the best for you, and that doesn't even try to change. They don't even try. Like I mentioned in that video about the past, there are some people that did so wrong in the past, but they're changing. You can tell they're trying. They're changing. An example of this is my dad. Like my dad, he's been back and forth in my life, but he's been trying. He actually apologized for not being there in my life. And he takes accountability. He took and takes accountability. Versus my other parent, my mom, she never takes accountability for what she's done to me and what she continues to do. She just stopped attacking me with the witchcraft recently because her lawyer advised her to stop. That is the only reason why she stopped. She didn't stop because I'm her daughter and because she loves me and because she loves her grandchildren. She stopped for now because she's being watched very closely by her lawyer. And her lawyer can't help her if she keeps doing this. Right? But that's what I mean when I say there's some people who don't change. And when you are dealing with something like this, you have to think about your life. And you have to think about, if you have children, your children's life. And you have to think about your mental health, your well-being, your spiritual health, your progression. Because this is going to be a consistent pattern until you say, I'm done. Until you say, I'm moving forward. With or without you. Until you are obedient to God and you are not receptive and receiving their demonic spirit. Until you close that door. Because what it is that spirit is a generational curse that is trying to latch onto you and destroy your life because they know you're the curse breaker. And you have to take the initiative to say, I'm done and I'm breaking this curse and I'm detaching myself from you. I'm detaching myself from that umbilical cord. And you will no longer control me or abuse me or gaslight me or lie on me ever again. And a part of taking that initiative is also releasing. And a part of taking that initiative is also releasing yourself from the people that are easily manipulated by this parent. Listen, there's narcissists all over this world. But when you are dealing with a narcissist who has an agenda to destroy you since a child, who you are aware was supposed to abort you and didn't get to abort you, and from since birth you have been abused, and they have made it their agenda to destroy your life and blame you for everything in their life from since you were in diapers, you have to detach yourself from that parent. I know it sounds bad, but I'm telling you the truth. Because then you're going to carry the generational curses. That's all going to transfer over to your children. That trauma that you have inside, you are going to take it out on your children when you have children, or if you already have children. You have to break that cycle. And that's why I went no contact with that parent since 2019, because they have consistently tried to destroy my life growing up, and they still do it. They have not changed, no matter how much hopeful wishing and praying I have done. No matter how much times I got on my knees and begged God to change her. She does not want the best for me. And the amount of people that she can fool is really disheartening. Because I feel like I'm the only one that is face to face and that has literally confronted that demon that is taken over her body. The Lord told me the other day they want her soul, and I've been praying for her soul. And what she didn't understand is the people that she kept paying over and over and over again, they were what's that word? Recruiting her. And she had no idea of it. Right? And disconnecting myself from everybody that is associated with her, that she was able to manipulate, to gaslight, to make it seem like I'm the bad guy, is what is helping me move forward in my life. And is what is actually helping me heal. Because even till this day, people are calling me a liar and saying there's no court going on, there's no serving going on, because she's telling them this. And that's what I mean when I say, like, when you are dealing with a narcissist, they are so dangerous at lying. It's so dangerous. Like, the obvious will be going on, but they will lie and say it's not going on, and you will start thinking that you're going crazy. That is the manipulation. And the amount of people that are saying there's no such thing as court going on, there's no such thing as serving, because that's what they're being told by her, and they're believing that, is very disheartening. And this is a revelation, and this is why God was telling me there's so much people out here who are dealing with this. This is the type of gaslighting, this is the type of manipulation I had to deal with my whole life. Right? And I love myself too much to allow myself to be torn apart in pieces because someone refuses to change their ways. You can only pray for people like this. But if you're going through something like this, you have to be careful. Because when someone like this has not changed, you cannot allow your spirit to have any involvement with them at all whatsoever. You got to protect your family. You got to protect your children. If you have children, you got to protect your mental health, your spiritual health. You got to protect yourself. Narcissists who want to destroy your life are wicked. And they will go above and beyond to do it. And in the process of them doing it, they're going to blame you and look for reasons to justify their demonic behavior. You could be someone that went no contact like I did, and not be in their hair, not be in their presence, not have anything to do with them. And they will still blame you, and they will look for a reason to justify why they're attacking you, why they're abusing you. And they will look for reasons, even if it's reasonings from like your childhood. They will say, well, this person was about you. And that's one thing about narcissistic parents. They will bring up your childhood and say, I treated you badly because you didn't get good grades in school, or because you ran away from home, or I treated you badly because of this, because of that. They'll look for every reasoning to justify why they're treating you badly, why they did, and why they continue to do it even in your adult years. But let me tell you something. There is no amount of reasonings, and there is no justification for a parent wanting or hiring people to kill their own child and to harm their own child and grandchildren. There is no justification for that, no matter how much things are being brought up. And if you have a parent that is not wanting the best for you, wanting you to die, wanting to get rid of you, wanting to destroy you, you have to cut ties. No matter how much it hurts, you have to detach yourself from that umbilical cord, from the spiritual umbilical cord, because a parent that is operating through that spirit, they have legal rights to open doors because they are your parent. But you have legal rights to close that door as well. But you have to take the initiative to do it. You cannot justify their behavior. You can't. I justified that behavior for years. I made excuses for years. I said, maybe I'm being told I'm horrible. Maybe they're saying they hate me because of this. Maybe they're saying they don't love me because of this. Only for me to become a parent myself. And no matter what my children do, I will never in my entire life not tell my children I love them, not want to kiss my children, or not want to take care of them, not want to feed them, not want to give them the best because of something they did. No. As a parent, that love and nurture is naturally within me. So there's no justification for that. So anyone that is being treated this way by their own parents, you need to go to God, and you need to sit in the presence of God and really take seriously what you need to do. Because in order for a generational curse to be broken, and for you to not carry on these traits, or for you to not continue to be tormented by the spirit that is tormenting them, you have to detach yourself from that umbilical cord. And you have to do it through prayer and fasting and through revelation from God, so your future can be bright. Nobody in my family understands the amount of abuse and torture that I've been through, because nobody cared to understand. But you know who did understand? The doctors, the therapists, the counselors, and all of them told me, you have a narcissistic mother. And I didn't even know what narcissist meant. I had to look it up. And it's a very dangerous disorder to have, because they will literally believe their own lies. They will do something and say they never did it, and say until they're blue in the face they never did it, and convince everybody else they never did it. And in the process of doing that, they will make everybody else turn their arrows towards you and shoot their arrows at you when you're the innocent one. You have to stay clear of people like that if you want to prosper, if you want to grow, if you want to break generational curses. Okay, guys? I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.